I read computer science. I have a master's in information systems. I'm one of the co-founders of 360 Knobs, and I'm also the regional director at Boomplay Music for West Africa. I was born into a family of 4, so father, mother, 2 older brothers and an older sister. I'm the last born. I don't act like that, but I'm the last born. I'm happily married and I have a daughter currently. I love music to a fault. I love Manchester United to a fault. I love Dodo to a fault. I love Africa to a fault. I love my country to a fault. So everything I try to portray, everything I try to do is to put Nigeria on the map, put Africa forward so that people can understand that we don't live in huts, we don't have monkeys as pets in our houses, just to change the whole philosophy of what the other countries internationally think of Africa. I'm a strong advocate for the youths. I believe that if we don't get it right at my own generation, those coming afterwards will have something to follow positively. My family was all about love, discipline, strictness, but it was more love than anything. We're so close, and a lot of the values that are instilled to me were thanks to my parents. So they didn't have to plug in me, thank God, but they taught us a lot of key things that I've been able to use, apply to life. Stay humble, stay grounded, be content. Contentment is the most key thing. I really believe that everything in life takes time. For some it might be quicker, for others it might take years, but it will come. As long as you're consistent in what you do, it will come. So some of my fondest memories are probably when one of the things that I can say I was probably very lucky about was that we used to do a lot of family vacations. So it got me to understand other cultures, other people, in different countries. So it helped me understand that black, white, brown, yellow, we're all the same. The most important thing is that we need to, whatever we do, we have to put the human race first. We have to positively portray ourselves in everything we do. I always had different aspirations. So like when probably in my formative years, when I was between 5 and 15, I loved drawing a lot. So I used to draw comics, and I'd sell them for 20 kobo for ice cream and all that. And but I'd always wanted to draw for Marvel, because Stan Lee and Todd McFarlane were amazing artists, and those were the people that had influenced my art. But I grew up in a family of music. I'm proud to say I'm a failed rapper because I tried my hands on rapping. I had the same brother that is a ghostwriter, a songwriter right now. Well, and they're much older than me, so I forgot to eat rapper. My 2 brothers are 10 and 8 years older than me, and my sister is 6 years older than me. So I was like the little runs that just used to look up to them. So growing up, my 2 brothers went to St. Famous. So they had a group called the Ace 4. So I just used to enjoy seeing them break dancing, and this was in the 80s. So I used to enjoy seeing them break dance and everything. So for me, at that point in time in the 80s, Michael Jackson was the biggest thing. So dancing I was huge on dancing. I was huge on singing, and then first time I heard the song from Grandmaster Flash, Curtis Blow, I knew that rap would take over, hip hop would take over. So I'd wanted to also be a rapper. So that was my formative years. Around 93 or 4, my dad brought home a Windows 3.1. That was like just MS-DOS, and that kind of changed me. I just said, okay. And I think that time I was in SS2. I think SS2. So I just did okay, IT. I just fell in love with it because it was always in Palo. It gave me access to it, and that was it for me. So at some point in time, I went to say, okay, what did I want to do in IT? Was it gaming? Because I grew up with consoles as well, from the Atari to Commodore to the NES. So it was also interesting to. My dad was a civil engineer. My brother was an architect. So they were upset that I was leaving the artistic part. But I said that every skill I have, I'll put in good use. The story about Comet is actually very funny because it was in my NYC. Everyone is always looking for where to work, and at that point in time there was a company called Comet Back. So I took letter to NYC, but they thought it was Comet newspaper, so they deployed with Comet newspaper. So, but I think in a way it helped me because I'm actually grateful for that move. At Comet, that was the first time they just threw me that you read IT. I go to the publication side and that they're young, so they're doing websites. So you just be updating the websites. So that was my first foray even into seeing an iMac because it was a Mac environment, and it was so well put together. I think Comet came from. It was like people from different other major publications just left and started Comet newspaper. So it was interesting. So I picked a lot of my web design skill sets from there. So after that, I went to an ISP called Prodigy. Prodigy for me was where I really sharpened my skills. They were an ISP that was providing internet services, but they had a woman that just started the web unit department. And the first thing she said to me, I can't forget, was, draw me a comic. So I drew a comic, that was my interview, that was my test and interview period. So I drew a comic, it took me like a week. It was funny. I've been looking for that comic for years now because I can't find it. It was about Obatala. I created a story, blah, 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 original Obatala. And next thing she said was, try and animate it. I was like, for real? So I think I could only animate past one page, but she was impressed. So she said, I think you'd be better as a web developer and designer. That you already have the IT skills. What do you know about HTML? Then it was about front page and all that. So I dabbled, and before I knew it, I started doing a lot of websites. Then there was Micromedia Flash. Micromedia was bought by Adobe later on. So I learned about animations, simple 2D animations, nothing. I never really got into Studio Max and all that. But then I knew that after staying there for like 2-3 years, I knew that I had to. I got enough foundation, but I had to learn more about databases. I had to learn more about the business side of IT. So that's when I traveled for my master's in business information systems. So there I got to understand business and IT enabling business. So my mindset kind of started changing. My orientation started changing. That IT really is an enabler. You don't have to code all of your life. You have to understand that IT can drive business and business success. So while I was there, I worked on the Macromedia, on Marks and Spencer's website. We changed the whole thing. That was a contract job. I worked in the school. I taught Java. So it was interesting while I was there. But I came back. That's when I joined USC. USC was kind of trying to get youthful. So they employed a lot of us. So at that point in time, I think they brought in like 20, 30 new young agile kids, and I headed the web unit. So I was the web manager. But Mrs. Bodwin Daniel, she's late now. God bless her soul. She came from the consultancy generation. So she worked with KPMG and all that. So she kind of brushed my business skills. She said, I know you can design, but can you generate reports? Can you write reports? Can you send a letter? So, first time she says, write me a report, what document? And as I submitted, she's carrying a paper. She's saying not block, double spacing. So it was just funny. I know it was such a delightful experience because this was someone that was taking her time, that she was going out of her way to like manage us properly, and it wasn't only for me. So I got to learn a lot from her. She taught me one of the biggest lessons of life, whereby as you're climbing up the ladder, you carry people with you. So even at that time in USC, they saw IT as just a support services. She was trying to metamorphosize it into an IT enabling for business, So she was senior management, but I think for like 3-4 years I didn't promote her. And all of a sudden she just started promoting all of us under her until we were very close to that level, And that was the strategy. I was like, most people, because at that point in time, most people I knew, they would like to keep that gap that I'm at the top, you guys, if I don't benefit, you guys don't benefit. But ours was totally different. And at some point in time, I was getting offers from other companies, but USC was like the training ground, They taught me everything from strategy to management. They moved me from IT into marketing communications. They added projects to my something. So every time we pass by Marina, I see that USC, that was my project. So the whole USC rebranding, that was the first multi-million naira project I actually handled. So for me, and that was my first foray into marketing. So they brushed, USC knows how to train. I'll give them that. They know how to keep you fulfilled, keep you driven. They know how to make you pick up all those skill sets. So, but alas, you need to forge ahead. So I had to leave USC. But USC is probably one of the companies that I had my fondest memories with. I joined USC 2004 and I left them 2008. So I was already dating my wife. Me and my wife, we dated for like 10 years. So one of the days when I went to check her in school, I bumped into him. I met Noble. And Noble was that social guy. She was reading about regional planning. And so me and Noble, we hit it off. So as soon as Noble finished, he came to Lagos. He got a job with Virgin, and he went straight to, I think, the CSL for Virgin Atlantic then was entertainment. So I got into music and all that. So while I was at FCMB, so fast forward to while I was at FCMB, I started writing album reviews because I was looking at the music industry. At that point in time, I still enjoyed the international music more than Nigerian music because of lyrical content and the quality. So it was at that point in time that MI dropped Crowd Mentality, and he dropped his debut album, Talk About It. So that album kind of blew me away. So I did an album review. It got picked up by Tribune newspaper, and after that I kept on writing album reviews. So at that point in time, Noble was also writing for Bella Nigeria. So Noble hit me up and said, that he has this idea to do a blog. And I said, that I'm actually thinking of. Then I was writing a music blog, but I wasn't consistent. So he said that let's join forces. That there's a third person that is going to introduce as well. So he now said, by the way, will I have time to even design the website? And I said that no, that as bank B, that I'm always busy. He got someone else to design it, and during the design stage, once in a while he'll call me that what do I think, blah blah blah, will show me. So when he had almost finished, and I said, you come in for a meeting. We're at Kingpin in Silverbird. So I got to the place and introduced me to a lady called Tonya. Now it's a funny story because I had known Tonya in secondary school, but I hadn't seen her for over 10 years, so she had grown up, but everyone says I have the same face, so she recognized me instantly, but she just decided to play the prank. So there I was chatting, trying to get to know her. Then all of a sudden she just called my full name, Oye Akideinde. And I look at her and I said, I know you know that. So I now say Bimbo Suarez because that's what we used to call her. And so we started laughing. And then Noble had gone to get a drink. So when he comes back, he sees us hugging and everything. So even him is confused that, isn't this the two people that I met, that I just introduced? You know, and so we explained to him that no, that we know each other way back, that it's actually a funny coincidence. So it kind of gelled that, yes, let's go that route. So we now started trying to discuss, okay, what we'll call the name of the site. We bounced ideas. We said, so Noble's column on Bella Nigeria was no BS, which means no bullshit. But, so we said, okay, everything no BS. Then we now said 360, no BS. And then, so people, it's not actually 360 Nobs, it's 360 no BS, but they just pronounce it. And Noble was the most popular, so we said it's even a play on Noble. So we tried to leverage everything as much as we could. Even down to Nobs was Noble, Oye, Bimbo Suarez. So everything was just perfect, so we just said, let's go with that. So we launched April 1st, 2010, and it started growing. We were having lots of sleepless nights. We called in a lot of huge favors. Linda KJ announced us to the world. Bella Nigeria did a story about us. So the Net also did a story about us. So that kind of helped us, you know. And so we relied on a lot of relationships. We relied on a lot of people we knew. And slowly and surely, we started getting to know more and more people in the music industry. And then after that, we kept growing. So I forgot to mention the guy that built the site. His name is Plastic. Shout out Plastic. We've remained close friends. At that point in time, even he was working in Zenith Bank, but now he's fully on his own. At that point in time, it was difficult marrying my banking job with 360 Nobs. So an opportunity came. It was in media monitoring. They offered me a CIO position. It was in Sule. I live in Sule, so for me it was convenient. It was called CCM, so it was content and media monitoring. So it was innovative, you know. It was basically like, if you know SoundScan in America, so basically they monitor all radio and TV airwaves. At that point in time, we were monitoring 420 radio stations and across Nigeria, and I think 130 TV terrestrial stations across Nigeria. So they'll monitor it, they'll fingerprint it, so they're recording those things. And then anytime there was an ad, because we're selling, we're monitoring ads for people to see whether it ran, if it ran, did it run fully, did it run at the scheduled time, how many times did it run. Then we also were able to offer competitive data like share of market. So like to an MTN, you'll be able to say your competitors, Glo, Airtel, that's spending more than you in the radio space. We're able to tell people which radio stations to actually use. So it was actually exciting times, you know. But because it was an audit and monitoring company, most people, I found out that most people, when there's marketing budgets, you don't really care about the audit and monitoring. You care about the activations, so it was harder and harder for us to get clients. We landed a lot of big clients, right? So CCM for me was very innovative, but it also allowed me time on 360 because we were a startup and we went to stay startup, you know. So we're grinding, we're doing sleepless nights. At that point in time, Noble had even left Virgin. He had gone to an agency. I believe 141. The only person that she left her work, she was working in the UK and was fully on it, so that was Tonya. So she was the editor, so for her that was like a 9 to 5. But for Noble and us, we would, Noble and I, right, we would always meet at that Kingpin, and so we're doing everything virtually. Sometimes we meet in Terra Culture, and it was just funny, you know, but it was fun, you know. We were doing what we loved, and we're seeing results. So the funny thing was that anytime our traffic grew to 300, we'll shout, we'll celebrate that. Whoa. Then, we'll go to 1,000. Then the first day we saw 10,000 views. We're like, what's going on? Then after a while it grew to 100, it grew to a million, and we're like, so it was exciting. Just after a while we became obsessed with just looking at the analytics, and we knew we were doing things right. Because I was a web developer, I already knew about SEO, so we didn't have to pay. Most of the skill sets, we didn't have to really pay for it. Noble was a marketing guru, so he knew how to do a lot of batters, so for events, all those, that time Studio 53 was very big. So most times you would see 360 Knob logo on DSTV related to events. So for us it was exciting times. And when I left CCM, I actually took a break to even focus fully on 360. And we started, then we employed our first two guys, QD. QD is left us since, but he's doing great things. He's into photography. So QD started helping with music, because after a while, we're getting like 15,000 requests a week on music alone. And then we had Okwe. So Okwe was doing the graphics and news as well. So we kept on growing, we got in Shegun, we got in a lot because we got busier and busier. And so, but once we had set up the structure, I felt that it was time for me to go back into employment. So I met with Oye Akideinde at that point in time. He was a director in Spinlex, and we had met a couple of times, and then he said that he wanted me to come and join Spinlex. So I joined Spinlex as head of business development for Africa, and that was my first foray into music business proper. So it was interesting there because I was able to get partnerships, some key partnerships like the Techno. We were able to get amazing projects and partnerships done. So like with Coke Studio Africa, we became the first company that had our logo on Coke bottles in Nigeria. We got pre-loaded on Techno devices and on Samsung. So for us, it was groundbreaking. The only resistance, I would say, because Spinner for me also has fond memories. I think we're ahead of our time, and why I realized, what I know now, I knew then when I was a Spinner, it would have probably been better, because I didn't know how. I knew that the label business, right, you needed deep pockets, but I didn't know that for music, as a music service, you needed way deeper pockets. I mean, you see nowadays Spotify is always going for more and more rounds. They're about to go public. Tencent Music is going public, so it's such an expensive business, And when I left them to go to Boomplay, one of the first things I did was I still treat Boomplay like a startup. So it was the same way, the same strategy we did at 360 Knobs. I carried to Boomplay. We started very low cost. We have been toying with the idea of a music phone with Techno. So, but it never materialized. So I had become good friends with people at Techno, and they said, that they want to start a music service, that I should recommend people to them. So I did, but we're not happy, and they now came out and said, in fact, they want me. And at that point in time, I got in other offers, so I was already considering those ones really seriously. But those other offers were not music related. So I said, okay, these are the offers I have on ground. If you really want me, make me an offer and we'll talk. And they did, and we started it, and it was amazing, because for me, people didn't even believe in that will a music service work in Africa, because people had tried, and so we started treating it like a startup once again. we're just spending basically on digital. We're leveraging on, I like to call them our big brother techno, because techno had budget. So everything techno did, we'll just attach. Every event they activated, we'll attach. And so slowly and surely, we started growing. We started Boomplay in 2015. And for me, I still believe we're growing. Today, as of today, we have 24 million users on it. So for me, it was a new challenge. I kind of like challenges, and what I wanted to do was to actually build that ecosystem, that music ecosystem, whereby fans and artists could meet. We could make it actually profitable for artists, because until now, most artists made money off endorsements and shows. So for me, it was a way to actually see it happen. That if they can do this internationally, why can't we do this for Africa? So I was very happy that techno actually gave us that platform. That okay, go ahead, test your ideas. Let's see. And as of today, we grew from being a department on the techno to we're now a standalone company on our own. So for us, I believe sky's the limit. There are over 1.5 billion users in Africa. So 23 million is nothing. One of the biggest strengths we had was, and that was my pitch to them when we were even doing the music phone, was the Apple, iTunes and Apple model. Techno has the largest market share across Africa in the smartphone market. And not only that, they have in their group, they have other phone devices. So they have Infinix, they have iTunes. Most people don't know this. So for me, it was a no-brainer. You already have the phones, let's provide you the app. So for us, it was the pre-order, and then we were able to convince Techno to also put it that on the packaging that Boomplay, get Boomplay inside. So it was slow, right? But it was amazing. And at that point in time, they now actually launched a music phone called Boom series. So the Boom J8, the Boom J5, Boom J7. Arguments are normal, right? But we've never had a disagreement that would want us to part ways. It's 360 is still going strong, as you can see. There was never any point in time that it went off. So for me, we all still play our roles. We've gotten busier, we've gotten older, we have families, but 360 is that platform that, without 360 knobs, and I say this, without 360 knobs, I probably won't be at Boomplay, because I want to be able to build all the networks and relationships I have with artists and label owners and other music services. So for me, I don't believe in ever taking away the ladder, which takes me back to the story of the woman that mentored me in USA. And same goes for Noble. Noble always talks about 360 knobs. Tonya always talks about 360 knobs. So anytime I heard those stories as well, but even when you check our Twitter handles, it's automated, right? So there's no point in time you see me not posting a story about 360 knobs. Noble is a straight up guy. Noble has the most shares in 360 knobs. But he's never ever said, since I have controlling shares, I'll take more. So we've always shared it three ways, So I don't know how those rumors started, but I think for them, a lot of people find it hard to understand why an Igbo man and a Yoruba man would work so perfectly. The only time we've ever disagreed was one time when investors kept on knocking on our doors, trying to invest, and it was just that we couldn't agree on the investor wanted the major controlling shares, and Noble wasn't going to have that, So and we spoke it out, because everyone has an opinion, everyone has a mindset, and I can understand what he was saying, and we agreed, So the way we operate at 360 Knobs is, and it's good that we're an odd number. We vote on everything. So as long as 2 people vote one, there's nothing you can do about it. And you just have to, even if you are pained, because I've lost votes as well. So even if you are pained, you just have to go with the majority. So for us, we treat business as business and friendship. That's why it doesn't affect. I mean, I'm close to Noble's family. I'm close to Chama. Everything is done professionally at 360 Knobs. Even down to the bank accounts. It's two to share and two to sign. So, we, like I said, we keep business as business. So it's not Noble calling me and say, "Oh, why did you guys steal money from the bank?" It will never happen because everyone can be tempted with money. So once things that can lead to mistrust, take it out. And that's what we've done carefully. We have details of almost every transaction we've done till date. Hello everyone, my name is Oye Akideinde. I'm hanging out with Isaac on Top Niger Stories. Please do visit. Don't just watch only my own story, watch all the other stories. They've interviewed a lot of my friends from Marking Day to True Day, so please check them out.